Are you a lover of seafood? If so, then you need to visit Cedar Key, Florida. Here, they specialize and take pleasure in their tasty little neck clams. Clams are more than just a tasty mollusk. They have become a way of life. Here in Cedar Key, Florida, clam production has been perfected to a science.
We're kind of a unique entity. We're probably the only hatchery, nursery, shipping, processing, receiving, farming, wholesale, retail, nightmare, all wrapped up into one thing, and we like it that way. I got about 200 male and female clams nestled out here on the love table. We have a reservoir of very hot seawater, and a reservoir of very cold seawater. When everybody's feeling pretty good, we had a nice bath, a nice meal, candlelight, a little movie. I wear this. When everybody's feeling pretty good, we'll start to thermally manipulate them. We'll get them hot, we'll get them cold. We'll get them hot, we'll get them cold. And what I'm doing is tricking them or fooling them into thinking that the seasons had changed. Summer, spring, winter, fall, back to back to back. After a couple of cycles like this, generally a little male just won't be able to contain himself and he'll let it go. He'll have a gonadal discharge here on the table. Now, the other 199 clams will sense, hey, love is in the air, or members of my own species gametes are in the water column, and they too will begin to discharge their gametes. Of course, at this point, girls are giving off eggs, and of course, at this point, boys are giving off sperm. To that, we begin to isolate the males from the females. All girls will go into one bin and all guys into other. Anyway, the reason we do so, most simply put, is that this table is much, much smaller than the Gulf of Mexico. If I would allow all the males to go willy-nilly here, I'd have exponentially way too many sperm and the potential of multiple genetic codes. And we wouldn't want our genotypic blueprint to go askew. So what I do is I'll start to feather in a little bit of the combined male hybrid vigor into around 1 million eggs. We can fertilize that with around 1 mil of sperm. That'll put about 50 to 80 sperm on each egg. This species has 7 and at exactly 24 hours old. 24 hours at 25 degrees C after sperm has hit egg, I've got a fully shelled and a fully swimming clam. And I know what you're thinking. Whoa, dude, Scotty, clams don't swim. Yeah, it's kind of strange to think of a clam as swimming, but it's kind of weird to think of a caterpillar flying. It just hasn't fully developed yet. If at this point, at 24 hours old, I turn them loose behind you, they'll swim for the first week of their lives, 7 to 10 days, depending upon temperature, at which point they'll go through a major identity change. They'll go through a major crisis. They're losing the ability to swim. They'll drop to the bottom, develop foot, siphon, hose, kidney, liver, gill. It's a total transformation.
The question then becomes, how do we keep these little neck clams fed?
There are 3.8 liters to the gallon. Let's call it 4. This is 60 gallons. 6, 12, 18, 24. Long story short, there are 239 times more individual plants living in this vessel than there are people living on this planet. This would not last just 1 million 1 millimeter clams, about 1 month old. This wouldn't last them as an entree about 15 minutes. Gone, blown out the other end. Ready for more, Daddy? Where's more, Daddy?
Now, where do those clams go? Well, those large tanks can feed Dr. Scott's very young clams. Once they reach 1 month old, they are moved into the ocean to continue growth. First, they are put into mesh bags for easy harvest, and then placed into individual leases or squared off areas designated to each farmer where these clams will live for the next 1 to 2 years before they will reach the correct size for wholesale. After they have reached the correct size, clam farmers must harvest them and bring them back to their nursery. Here, they are cut from their bags, cleaned, sorted, and sold. Most are harvested and sold for live sale, so human health comes into question. There are many health hazards associated with the consumption of clams. Clams are filter feeders absorbing trace metals found naturally occurring in oceans, but waterways with industrial and sewage treatment outflows increase these metals beyond their natural amounts. Clams also readily ingest bacteria, viruses, and other waterborne pathogens that can cause human health problems, so clam farming has to be heavily regulated. To obtain a farm lease, the area must be heavily desolate with the perfect water quality. So with careful monitoring, the consumption of clams should be nothing more than enjoyable.